Welcome to Android Dialogues, where we have bite-sized conversations with people in the Android community. I'm Huyen and I'm speaking with
Wiebe Elsinga.
And we are currently in Torino, Italy for Droidcon Italy. Wiebe, where are you based and how did you get started in Android?
Ooh, good question. So I'm based in the Netherlands or Holland, depends on how you look at it, but it's the same country. And been starting already I think 10 years ago. So before I did Android, I did Java. Mm-hmm. So it was a natural flow to do Android. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden the Android fever came up, and I think it was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So awesome. So you've been around Android for a while, and Wiebe is also a GDE, and your talk actually is something that I really care about, and your talk is called UXMatters.
Yeah. And
I guess, so we were talking a little bit before I turned on the camera, and we were talking about, I guess, the difference between, pure technical talks and what you called soft skills.
Yeah.
And can you tell me maybe the inspiration behind your talk? Why are you talking about why UX matters?
Yeah. So to be honest, it's a little bit like my passion. I really like UX, and there's a difference between UX and design and the more technical talks like we talked about. So design is making things look pretty. Technical side is making it fast, but people tend to forget there's a person behind using in this case, the Android app. But mm-hmm. any interface will do, even if you're running like a Google TV or Android TV, it's all about the person, and the app should be giving the experience of a playful, good, happy feeling. So mm-hmm. that's why I feel like it's more soft skill.
And I think, and again, I think it's an interesting distinction because, I feel like, and this is just my perspective, I feel like a lot of talks when you go to a conference like this, there's a lot of highly technical talks about performance, about, architecture, and there's some talks on design. But what kind of you're talking about is something even more, is different than that, whereas maybe UI is more about the appearance of an app, but you're talking about an actual experience. And do you see a large gap sometimes between, something that looks good and something that is a good experience?
The gap isn't really that big, but the line is really thin because an app can be really pretty and perform really well, but if it's flaking the experience of actually doing stuff, or the app is not understanding, or the app is built not understanding the need for the user, mm-hmm. what's the point of having the app? So basically what I'm trying to advocate is the question, actually, what are we building for? Who are we building for? And that got nothing to do with design. Design is a big part of it, and don't get me wrong, the well-performed app is really important, mm-hmm. but it doesn't sell. It doesn't feel good for the user.
It might be hard to pinpoint, but can you talk about the point, or maybe just some experiences that made you realize that that you had to kind of that soft skills need to be talked about? People maybe people need to understand better the difference between design and experience and the other technical considerations.
I think you're right. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly when. Well, it sort of grew because I always asked myself, well, what's the use of me using the app currently? There's a lot of bad examples of the experience I have, or we still see around. But I think it's just me using Android for the first couple of times and seeing sophisticated apps. So in the early days we had the marketing apps, and then all of a sudden Android grew. It was really mature, and mm-hmm. then until design came, but it still feels some apps nobody's really paying attention on what the apps should be doing. We focus a lot on the UI parts, but it's still a couple of apps doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't accomplish a goal, or it doesn't satisfy something
exactly
in the user.
Or focus on the actual user. So we see, there's still a period going on, we focus a lot on usability. Mm-hmm. We focus a lot of design, but actually nobody stops and thinks, well, is it clear enough for the user that what he sees is actually true? And when he clicks on a button, what's the reason behind that he clicks on a button? Or is the app actually using by elderly or by young people? Mm-hmm. And that does change not only design, but also the way we use the app. Again, it's soft skills. It's really hard to pinpoint. It's got all to do with like feeling and touchy emotions and
things that we're generally not, gen engineers aren't generally associated with.
And especially difficult to understand for developers because we have the stereotypical run eating pizza.
Yeah, in a dark room at night, kind of under a blanket. Yeah, just like not interacting with other people.
Yeah.
So for me, and I'm kind of one of those developers. You can probably find me at night in my office, dark, coding. So I mean, I guess and that's probably like the goal of your talk, right? So and maybe I'm touching a little bit on what you're going to be talking about tomorrow or during your talk rather, is that how can I, as a shut-in, introverted developer, start to think and maybe feel, how do I build that empathy for the user? And what are the first steps I can take to kind of thinking more in that way and developing soft skills?
Well, this may sound a bit like floating yoga style, yin yang, but talk to people. It is really important. When on a day-to-day basis, we're talking right now. I can understand your point of view, but if you build an app and you don't understand the reason or the person that is using it, what's the purpose? So either do some analysis or do like a prototype and give it to a user and study his behavior. Look how he's using the app. Again, it's all got to do with people. So go out and talk to people. Stop sitting in your room.
People are kind of cool, so we should go find them.
That's also for developers. Designers are actually nice people too.
I've talked to people maybe like in terms of team dynamics and like in the kind of like your idealized world where we all are kind of thinking about the user. Where do you think the role of the designer and the role of the developer meet? I guess in that kind of where do you think? I mean, maybe that's too broad of a question, but maybe like what's...
No, it's an easy question, but it's a difficult one to answer because if I can't expect a developer to have like the same skill set as a designer and vice versa. A designer is not actually really a good coder, but we can learn a lot from each other and also talk within the team. And most of the apps are built in teams, so it's not just one person. Do it as a team. It's like you start a project, so you have the designers that give the input and you have the developers that create the code. But that doesn't make the app.
Right.
It's a team effort. So and that's why it's really difficult when I speak at conferences. It is really soft skills. So I'm not trying to make people crazy or do yin yang or stuff. It's just stop coding and think, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Also for designers, don't make things pixel perfect if it's not really that good or easy to understand for users.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's almost like sometimes we forget that we're building apps for other people and not just for us.
I'm guilty as well, and to be honest,
it's just, but no, I think it's really cool. So I mean, is that basically like what you're talking about, like how, like why? So
exactly,
why UXMatters?
The who, the why, the how.
And
those are the simple questions.
With complicated answers?
If we rush things or we don't take things in consideration, yes.
But if we kind of work as a team and really try to think about what we're doing and experience we're building, maybe not so hard?
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. I've had a really awesome time talking to people, and I really think that the soft skills are important, that it's great to talk about architecture and performance and all these technical things that are, kind of work towards making good user experience, because those things are important to making good user experience, because if an app is janky, then that's not a good user experience. But thinking about the user, I think, is something that it seems obvious, but we don't do it maybe enough. It's a good...
Again, sometimes stop and look what you're doing and have fun.
Oh, well, I think that's a really excellent note to end on. Have fun. Think about the users and have fun. So, Wiebe, where can people find you on the internet?
On Google+, just type in my name or search for... Well, most conferences I try to attend. I think I'm rather difficult to find, but...
But well, you should look for Wiebe, because he's we've had a great time talking to him, and I really think that UX does matter, and especially for us engineering types. So thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you, and thank you for taking the time, and see you all hopefully in a different conference in a different country.
Yeah. another Android time, another Android channel. Bye, guys.